Hello everybody, and thank you for joining us. Today we are going up to a job that we're doing just outside of Bailey, which is about an hour and a half from our yard in Denver, Colorado. On this job site, Gold's Concrete is putting up an entire building. We are watching it go from the ground up. We were out here when Jaime and his crew was putting in they were putting up the forms for the foundation or the footers, which was the very first step in this entire process. We're gonna come back today and they're pouring those footers today. It took us a little while to get some permits pulled and whatnot, but it looks like at this point we're ready to move forward. So we want to get out there during these beginning stages because we're gonna follow the job and we're gonna continue to watch as the building goes up. All right, we're on our way out to the job site in Bailey, or near Bailey, outside of Bailey, and we took a wrong turn, and here we are up, looks like we're up I-70, or we're east on I-70, I mean west on I-70 going into the mountains, but we actually need to be going, let's see, south on 470 to get to 285, and then we'll go west on 285 to get to Bailey, and then we'll spin off on a dirt road. Here we go, back on the road again, and I've got a couple issues that I'm dealing with because the zoom is not working on this camera now. I'm getting a system error. I've done a little bit of troubleshooting and I'm gonna have to get that fixed. And then I had just bought this double lavalier mic set and I lost one of the transmitters to it. So now I have to buy a new mic set. I wasn't real happy with the way it was working. Maybe it was operator error. I don't know, but after testing it up against the podcast mic, I just wasn't real happy with the sound. So we're gonna have to get a new mic set and we're gonna have to fix or upgrade the camera. I don't know, we'll see. Sometimes we do travel and we do jobs a little ways outside of Denver. This is one of the jobs that we're doing a little bit outside of Bailey. So this is about, I don't know, an hour from our yard in Denver, maybe an hour and a half. My question for Gold's Concrete will be if the distance of this job cut into the overhead of the job, or it was built into the contract somehow. A travel expense, travel fee. So that would be my question for Gold's Concrete, is how that expense was rolled into the agreement, or if it was rolled into the agreement, or yeah, I'm just curious how that was, you know, how that was formatted. This would be a good place for us to check and see if we passed our exit or if it is ahead of us still. Here's a come and go. See if we can use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, bud. Hang tight. Right, I feel like this is Bailey. I could be wrong. And I probably am wrong, considering I usually am wrong. However, I have good reason to believe that we are in Bailey. Even though I'm not seeing the exit the exit we took before. Let's just come over to the left of this guy. Okay. We'll keep right on going here. I feel like Bailey is coming up. I mean, the part of Bailey that we want to be at. You know, I don't know how big Bailey is. I haven't really looked into it. I've been through here one time. I think it may have a few different exits. I could be wrong. Aha! What have we here? This is the exit we were looking for. Here we are. All right, here we are, folks. The adventure begins here. We're gonna take this exit and we're gonna go down this dirt road and we're gonna see where it leads. Actually, we know where it leads because we've been down this road before, and it leads to the job site where we are putting up a building. And into the forest we go. Or I should say, into the mountains we go. This is a cool drive. So it turns gravel up here in a little ways, I believe. This will be cool for the guys that are working on this job that are coming up here every day, because this is a beautiful drive. So it's a good thing and also a bad thing that it's so far out of the city. The good thing is that it's interesting because it's a pretty drive, it's a beautiful place, and the bad thing is that it's so far away. It's going to cost Gold's Concrete a lot more to do the job. Think about it. If you got, so it takes an hour and a half to get here. It takes a half hour just to dispatch from the yard in the morning for the guys to put the trailer, either hitch the trailer or load up the materials or the tools. And then another hour and a half to get here. Okay, so 2 hours, and then another hour and a half back to the yard every day. You're talking about 3.5 hours out of a 10-hour day, which is, I believe, typically what the guys work is about 10 hours each day, and you're taking 3.5 hours off from that just for travel time. It takes another half an hour from the time the guys pull up on the job site to where they're in a rhythm, they're going, they're working steady at a steady pace. It takes another half hour to get into that mode. So 2.5 hours into the day and they're just barely started on the job. So let's see, 10 minus 2.5, okay, 7.5 hours remaining out of the workday. I shave a half hour off for lunch, and you got 7 hours. Now, an hour and a half back to the yard, then that's, geez, 7, 6, 5.5 hours. So, out of a 10-hour workday, Gold's Concrete is getting 5 hours of labor out of the laborers that they dispatch to come up here. Or not just laborers, but skilled, you know, form setters, finishers, whoever they send up to do this job. Can you imagine how expensive that is? That's like double, that would be double the cost of a job that has no travel time. You know, say for example, it's right there by the yard in Denver, Colorado, as opposed to a job that's a little ways outside of the city like this. Well, it looks like we went down the wrong road. I mean, they're all dirt roads. They all look more or less the same, and it looks like we went down the wrong one. So we are turning around and going back down this road, or up this road, whatever, to get back on the correct road to the job site. I think we passed it by 2 or 3 miles. So I'm gonna try to get back there as fast as we can because the concrete is showing up at 10 o'clock and right now it's going on 9:30. So we only got a half hour. And I was hoping to be there already so that, you know, we could be there before the concrete gets there and see the concrete truck pulling up do a little bit of filming around the job site, you know, because this is a beautiful area. So that's why I wanted to put a video out on this today and make sure and capture all of this beautiful footage. See, people do shit like that out in the country. They'll pull over and let you go by if they can see you're in a hurry. It's kind of crazy the difference in hospitality on the road out in the country as opposed to in the city. And anybody that has lived in both places knows what I'm talking about. That was just one example. I mean, there's other things like people will wave. All right, we just spotted 2 concrete trucks coming down this road. So we turned around because we were going in the opposite direction, and it is a quarter till or 20 till 10 o'clock when we're supposed to be having the pour. So I have good reason to believe these may be our concrete trucks. I mean, all I have to do is call one of the guys, but this is good stuff here. We're getting down to the bottom of this. Watch, they're going to a different job site. Man. This has been a lot of driving from like 7 o'clock this morning, heading up here. Couple of stops, couple wrong turns, and we came down this road once before, and now we are coming down this road again following the concrete trucks, hoping that these are in fact our concrete trucks. And they are going exactly the way we just came from. I think this is it. So if we had come down this road just a little bit further, it looks like maybe a quarter mile further, then we would have found the spot. But we're finding it now, I think. Still not 100% sure. I do see some familiar landscape though. The mountains and the cliffs. You can't see them right now because they're covered by the trees, but coming up over the hilltop, I did see some familiar landscape. Oh no, man, I don't recall passing any of this. We're in a national park. Here we have Windy Peak Outdoor Education Laboratory. Okay, well, what does that mean to us? Are we there yet? Are we getting close? Possibly over this bend. Oh shit, is this it? Oh man. Is this it? This is not it. But we're still going. We're still moving here. That's cool. They're pulling over so we can go by, but I'm not trying to go by. I might be going where they're going. This is not our concrete company, nor are these our concrete trucks. This is where we got to turn around because the truck that just pulled up beside those concrete trucks to direct them where to go was not our truck. Not a Gold's concrete truck. And so those concrete trucks are not with us. I had to stop and take a little breather because I was getting a little upset. I feel like I've been in the car all day, all morning anyway. It's now past 10 o'clock, so the concrete is probably there on the job, and we're not. And I'm out of service right now, so I can't call anybody, but we probably should have called earlier, but there's no need for that. We've been to this job before. We know where it's at. We've got this, man. We got this. All right, here we are back in the town where we exited, where we first came to this junction right here, I guess you could say. And we're here now again. And we're just gonna turn around and start right back where we started in the first place. Because, well, this is the way. I mean, this is the way we came the first time. I've been here once before, to be clear, and I know how to get there, so this is the way. We are going back down this road for the third time. The first time, I thought it was it, and then I thought it wasn't, you know, so we turned around before we got too far. The second time, we saw the concrete trucks, and we just knew that those were our concrete trucks, so we followed them down. We took this road a little bit further, actually quite a bit further, up to the point we just turned around because we thought there's no way the job could be back here this far. I don't recall it being down this road that far. I do, whoa, shit. Remember it was quite a ways down this road, but damn, this has been a lot of driving, and it's now, let's see, 10:30. We've eaten, so we're good for the day. I just want to get there so we can get out of the car, and hopefully we can catch as they're finishing up with the pour. You know, probably that's what'll happen. We can film the concrete trucks rolling out and the guys finishing up, hopefully. So we'll see what we can get in on when we get there. But we still got like 10 miles down this road we still got to go. That is the teepee we will attack tonight. All right, this is the furthest we have been. Of the 3 times we've been down this road, this is the furthest we've been down it. So what we're seeing here is a big rock. Just a big boulder in the middle of the forest. It probably fell off of one of these mountains, one of these cliffs. All right, here's the place. This is the lake, and the place we're building the building is up here on the left. Somewhere up here. All right, here we have the concrete trucks. Those are the ones we were following. There's one truck on standby, it looks like. And we got the other truck in there. Let's pull up. We'll pull up around here. All right, so we just pulled up on the job. There we have one concrete truck, and here we have the other concrete truck on standby. And just behind us here, we have Wellington Lake. Let's go get some good pictures.
El primer paso aquí en este proyecto fue la excavación. Como pueden ver, aquí están las máquinas. Fue con las que se hicieron la escarbada. Ya después de que se escarbó y se compactó, empezamos a poner las formas que pueden ver aquí. Estas son para los footings que van primero. Son cajas que son los soportes que van en medio, los soportes principales, y después de hacer los footings comenzaremos con las paderes. Después de ahí vamos a hacer el grading y vamos a poner varilla por todos lados para el soporte, y vamos a tirar un piso de 5 pulgadas, y después de eso hacemos una gradeada final. Gradeamos todo bien suave para que todo quede bien hecho. Entonces ya fue cuando vienen a parar los beams y arman la bodega.
All right, cool. We got a Gold's concrete truck here, and let's walk on up here and see what we got. Looks like we got Tim running the pump hose here. We got Jaime and the crew on standby. Let's go get a good picture from over here. Timbo! Not much. How's it going? Yeah. Mi perrito? Yeah. No, es un min pin. Yeah, un mini. Well, this camera is sticking in a lot of ways that I don't want it to be, like trying to get the battery out or the SD card, and then trying to get it to zoom, it won't zoom. So having some issues here. I'm gonna see if maybe I can stick it in a bag of rice. Maybe that'll do the trick. If not, I'll have to find a camera repair place or get a new camera. I have another camera, but it's clear in Nebraska, and I'm not trying to drive all the way to Nebraska to get another camera, but that might be what I end up doing, because I don't want to buy one if I already have one. I mean, it's $1,000 camera. Let's see here. This is a Panasonic Lumix DMC SZ1000. Here are the pros that I like about this camera. It's a point and shoot, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, and we're going to talk about why here in a minute. It has a 16 times zoom. It has a good professional look to it, so anybody that sees you out filming with this camera knows you're a professional filmer or photographer. It has all the frame rates, so it goes from 24 frames per second, which is the frame rate that I like to film at because it has that classic look that you would see in the theater. And it also films at 120 frames per second, which is buttery smooth slow motion. Here are the cons that I don't like about this camera. It sticks when I'm panning, so when I'm trying to do a shot like this, it has a stabilizer inside it that'll stay right here while I'm still moving the camera like this, and that's been a problem since the beginning. The autofocus is horrible when I'm trying to track somebody. It has an autofocus tracker, and so if I put that on somebody in the job site, it'll go off to something else. For example, if you're standing beside a tree and you're trying to put the autofocus tracker on yourself, then the autofocus will go onto the tree, and you have to bring the focus back in constantly to what you're trying to film. The noise that it makes when you're trying to zoom, so the zoom is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because it makes the noise when you're zooming in and out, and sometimes you want that for effect while you're filming to be able to close in on something or to pull back from something suddenly, and it gives it a certain effect.
Oh yeah, I think so too, yeah. And then epoxy first with your, like that one's gonna need it across that. That was a pretty good size one.
But with this camera, you're limited in how fast you can zoom in and out, and also that it makes a noise while it's zooming in and out. Lastly, it's a point and shoot, so you're stuck with this body. You're stuck with this lens. You can't upgrade or experiment with other lenses. It's a great entry-level DSLR camera, but if you buy this, this is what you're stuck with.
There you go. You can even keep them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do the copy for myself.
I got one, but I forgot my other one.
No, that's no worries. I got plenty of copies.
Well, it doesn't go for,
What's that?
it doesn't go for footage. It's more.
Yeah.
That's Buddy. He's helping with the backfill. Buddy's on backfill. ¿Qué hacen, Jaime?
Marcando para la varilla,
Oh,
para donde va los dados. Los amarillos,
I'm gonna get a quick picture of this before we take these down. This is where we've had the time-lapse cameras for the past couple months that we've been waiting to get permits approved for this job. And they've just kind of been sitting here because nothing has been happening here. We put the forms in and, you know, a month went by and there was nothing to film. So I have not been back to get the time-lapse footage. This is the first time I've been back since the first time I was up here. Now that we're here, we'll go ahead and pull the time-lapse footage, even though there's probably not anything of interest there. But we're just gonna go ahead and take these cameras back to the shop, reload them, you know, pull the footage, put new batteries in, and so when this building starts to go up, then we can put the time-lapse cameras back out here and hopefully at that point have something of interest to be captured on that time-lapse. And right there behind Jaime is where we have the other time-lapse camera. You can see it's falling over and probably just got knocked over. Okay, so we got our two time-lapse cameras here and they are going back to the shop. Or back to the office, I mean. the hell? Well, it looks like Tim here is the last man on the job. He is wrapping up with a pump truck now. He's putting things away, and I guess this is it for today. We're all done with the job. Everything went well. We talked to Tim afterward. He said everything went smoothly. Everything went good. There was a small blowout in one of the forms and one of the corners, but it was a quick, easy repair, so no harm done there, and everything went good. Let's take a quick look at where we're at right now. So this is the Denver area. You can see Denver here. We went west on I-70, and then we went down 470. We went south to 285. See here, we took 285 all the way about an hour southwest of Denver, and here we are in Bailey. So we're clear out about an hour total, probably about an hour and a half southwest of Denver.
Now in the corner by the water. Oh yeah, you're just around the corner.
Yeah, everything went good. No problems with the forms. It blew out in one spot in a little corner, and they fixed it up real quick. Everything went good.
Nice.
So what's the next step on that? What's the next phase of that job?
So the next step of that job is going to be them pulling the forms on the footers, and then starting one side of the walls, and then putting the rebar in, and then forming the other side of the wall, and then we'll pour the walls.
Okay. So they're gonna form the wall up in sections?
So they have to put the outside form on,
Okay.
and they put the rebar in, and then they
Okay.
put the outside form on. That way they have a way to work on the rebar.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think that'll take you guys long in there.
Oh, the rebar would. Plastic won't take long.
You're going to do the rebar tomorrow.
All right, thank you everybody for your comments. Make sure and keep the comments coming, and don't forget to support your local small business by subscribing to this channel, and we'll see you again next time.